Welcome to Rise and Thrive. This is the podcast with the leaders who help make our communities thrive, and the inspirational stories we hope will move you into more community engagement. I'm your host, Patrece Dayton. Today we're talking with Karlee Erickson. Karlee is the Director of Operations at Terre Haute Regional Airport. I had the honor of meeting Karlee several months ago at a National Women's Conference that we did, an event that we did at Terre Haute North High School, and right away I noticed how vibrant this young woman is, so we were excited to have her with us. Welcome, Karlee.
Thank you so much for having me, Patrece. I'm happy to be here.
You are fairly new to our community. Welcome, yes, less than a year.
Yep.
And you have a huge job title, so please take us back to the beginning, where you're from and how you got to this point.
Absolutely. So I'm from a tiny town, actually classified as a village in northern Michigan called Roscommon. And in that community, there was a chapter of the Experimental Aircraft Association, which is the EAA. And they had a program called Young Eagles, which we actually have here in Terre Haute as well. So they came out to our school and they said, write this essay and you might be able to fly in a plane. And I said, that sounds awesome. So I did it and I got to fly in a plane, and I've loved aviation ever since. And so I knew I always wanted to be in aviation, and so I went to college at Western Michigan for aviation management and operations. And straight out of college, I started my career at the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, and I was there for just over a year. And then it was brought up to me that this position at Terre Haute was open, and they were looking to fill it. And the person who recommended me, he's like, I think you'd be great for the position. And so I applied and I interviewed. And of course, at 21, I'm like, I'm never going to get this job. And I applied anyway. I interviewed anyway. And lo and behold, the rest is history. And I'm here.
That's wonderful. Director of Operations. That's your title, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
That's a big title for such a young woman. We are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Tell me some of the things you do for our airport.
Absolutely. So overall, it's just making sure that the day-to-day maintenance of the airport gets done. If a pilot or another tenant has any issues, we aim to get that corrected as soon as possible. But on the long term, it's making sure that what we're doing on the day-to-day brings us towards what we want to do in the long term. So for our long-term projects, our long-term initiatives, making sure we're making progress toward that future day.
Can you talk about some of those long-term projects?
Absolutely. So right now at the airport, we are building 6 new box hangars as well as 1 large privately owned hangar on the airport. So lots of new tenants, lots of new operations we're going to be gaining from that. We are also, and this is my favorite project, we are working on, in the 3rd floor of one of our large hangars on the airfield, we're working on creating an aviation academy. Wow. So we're going to be bringing in high school kids from Vigo County as well as the surrounding counties in west central Indiana to be learning about aviation in general. And we're aiming for next year to get them to be taking aircraft maintenance classes and try and get them on the path to become A&Ps as well.
Great jobs in their future.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. What do you find is a big challenge for our airport that you're facing?
Sure. I'd say for my position specifically, a learning curve has been how to prioritize our day-to-day operations and our day-to-day maintenance, and also prioritizing our future growth and our future projects and our future initiatives. It's great that we are doing so much at the Terre Haute Regional Airport. I love it. I love being busy. I love feeling like I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off sometimes. But sometimes trying to prioritize the day-to-day and trying to prioritize the future are two. They kind of compete with each other sometimes. Sure.
The challenge is the challenge of everything that's ahead, but how exciting. Some exciting things for the airport. And hopefully things that'll bring great jobs to our community. As you know, we could use that. Any community could use that.
Yep.
Being young and being a young female to boot, was there a challenge coming into this position?
There was, but the challenge was solely internal for me. It was the feeling, it was that imposter syndrome, especially being young as I was. I came into this role and there are still folks at the airport who have worked at the airport longer than I've been alive. And so trying to take that in and take their expertise, of course, and take their input has been a great advantage, but trying internally to get over that a little bit, get over that feeling of I don't belong in this position a little bit.
Well, they wouldn't have put you there if they didn't think you could do it.
Absolutely.
See the potential. That's wonderful. We need, our communities all over the Wabash Valley and West Central Indiana, we need more young people and more women to step up and to rise up to lead. And you're doing that. So congratulations. You're setting a great example to other young girls, which is wonderful.
Thanks so much.
But would you have some advice to other young people, or what would you tell them?
Yes. Going along with what I struggled with, I'd say just go for it. It is so hard sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, of feeling like I don't deserve it or feeling like I don't belong, but just going for it, just increasing your opportunities, increasing your connections, and just doing whatever you're scared to do. Just do it scared.
Good for you. That's great advice.
Thank you.
Never give up.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And you might get told no, but keep going. Well, let's talk about being told no. Thankfully, you haven't faced much failure yet in your life. And sometimes, at least in my opinion, failure can be good. We learn from our mistakes.
Yes.
Do you agree with that, and why?
I absolutely do. I think doing it, even if you find out you're doing it wrong or you fail, at least you have that experience and at least you know what to do better next time. Absolutely.
We also need more young people to get involved in civic engagement in their government, run for office, to volunteer. Do you have what we would call a philosophy of leadership? What would be your philosophy of leadership?
I would say my philosophy is having a philosophy of empathy and approaching, if you have a problem, approaching it from a place of empathy and learning from it rather than placing blame, and learning someone's side of the story before punishing them in any way or anything like that. Just trying to learn from that problem rather than getting someone in trouble.
Sure. Education really is key, whether you're educating yourself by a book or by real life things. Education teaches us so many things and so many facets of life. What about the airport's biggest challenges? What are you had talked a little bit about that, but in the future, do you see some challenges that we face, or do you see some obstacles that we might have to get around to bring that future project that you want to town? Do we have enough people? Sometimes it's a lack of workers. Sometimes it's a lack of resources. Sure. Sounds like the airport's really thriving and doing well.
Absolutely. So to that point, our goal as an airport right now, our strategy is to bring MROs, which are maintenance, repair, and overhaul facilities, to the airport, which is also where that aviation academy comes in. With those MROs, they do employ a lot of people, and there are a lot of job opportunities. And we have heard from larger MROs that, that workforce may not be there in Vigo County, Terre Haute, Central Indiana. So it's more on us as the airport to try and find that perfect customer and try and find that perfect MRO that not only that we can provide what they need, but also they can provide what we need as well.
Sure. And once you get that first MRO, perhaps then other businesses will come, like that trickle-down effect, and bring more workers. That'd be wonderful.
And one great thing about the airport is we have a lot of land to develop. So we have more land than is necessary for just one MRO. We could have 3, 4 in the future. So we're excited.
Wonderful. So that's a real plus, is all that land.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. You talked about being a challenge to being young. Have you run into any challenges being a woman? I mean, there's so many women in the workforce now, but
Sure. Definitely in the aviation industry and including airports, finding women leaders is like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes. Right. I have a lot of airport leaders who are women in the industry who are great mentors to me, who have given me great advice. And so that's been great for me. So also to those young people who may want to pursue leadership roles, just finding those mentors and those who will provide inspiration to never give up.
Sure. As a little girl, you said that you went to that class, that club, and wrote that essay and got to be in a plane.
Yes.
So you're living your dream.
Absolutely.
What do you see for your future? What do you have a dream job even down the road?
Yeah, down the road, I would love to be an air safety investigator, actually.
What does that mean?
So you could be employed either with the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, to go out and investigate aircraft accidents, or you could be employed with the FAA and do the same thing. Both of those entities have investigators, but basically you go out and you get to investigate why an accident happened, the human factors, the mechanical factors, and provide a probable cause and recommendations to make sure that never happens in the future.
Keep people safe in the future.
Yes.
That's your dream job.
It is.
That's fabulous. And it'll be helping people.
Absolutely.
That's
That was my goal before May when we had our aircraft accident out at the airport. But especially now, just getting to learn those two agencies' roles in accident investigation and how cool that is. It's definitely up to my want to be that in the future.
That is wonderful. Where can our listeners find more information about your work and connect with you if perhaps they want to do that?
Absolutely. Our airport website is huf.com, so huff.com. Huff is our airport code, our 3-letter airport code for the FAA, so that's where that comes from. And for me personally, my LinkedIn is also available, so absolutely, I invite anybody to connect with me on LinkedIn and ask me any questions they have or anything like that.
And maybe learn more about that aviation for youth, that programs that we want to get going, get off the ground.
Yep. So if you look up the Experimental Aircraft Association or even EAA, it'll pop right up on Google and you can learn more about what they do in their mission, which is fantastic.
All right. Karlee, anything else you'd want to say to young people, young girls, anything at all about stepping up and being a leader?
Absolutely. Just don't be scared to do it. And if you are scared, just do it scared.
Good
Absolutely.
For you. That really is great advice. Karlee Erickson, Director of Operations at the Terre Haute Airport, our guest today. Thank you so much. You are a true inspiration to everyone. We wish you the very best.
Thanks so much.
The Wabash Valley needs role models and leaders like Karlee. We hope you will rise and thrive. Rise up and help our communities thrive. I'm Patrece Dayton. Have a great day.